Reacher Season 4 is coming, and it might be the best one yet. Here's what's confirmed, what's rumored, and what we can expect. Alright, so let's get into it. What's confirmed and strongly hinted at. Alan Ritchson is of course back. But what's really interesting is what he's been saying in his interviews. He told Men's Journal that this season required the most physically intense training of his career. He's doing more of his own stunts, and the action is being taken up a level. The beauty of this show hitting a fourth season is that the team behind it really gets to settle into what makes Jack Reacher such a popular book series. Every book is a new journey, every mission a fresh start, and Reacher strolls into town with nothing but the clothes on his back. Ritchson now has 24 episodes under his gray-tone t-shirt, so the sensation of finishing an old and picking up a new Jack Reacher novel should translate into Season 4. The only other character that has appeared in each season is Maria Sten's Frances Neagley. There aren't many reasons to believe that trend won't continue, outside of the fact that Neagley is receiving the franchise's first spin-off series. No date is set, but Ritchson and Sten were seen filming together recently at a Chicago Cubs game at Wrigley Field. So the train is on the tracks. This spin-off, unlike other seasons of Reacher, has no footing in the Jack Reacher book universe. So really, anything is on the table. It's unclear if this will impact Neagley's screen time in Season 4, but it's something to keep an eye on. No official release date has been set for Season 4, but Seasons 1 through 3 have been released like clockwork, year after year. So, early 2026 is the prediction so far. Source material speculation. The books covered by each season of Reacher have left us without any pattern to follow. Season 1. Killing Floor, Book 1. Season 2, Bad Luck and Trouble, Book 11. Season 3, Persuader, Book 7. Ritchson seems to think trying for Season 4 is the move, the second book in the Lee Child series. He told Men's Journal he would love to see that adaptation, where Reacher is framed for a crime he didn't commit, fighting back against an extreme militia. That's the thing about Jack Reacher plots. You get to string so many badass words together in one sentence. Hints from Season 3. Something to keep an eye on is the presence of General Jody Garber in Season 3. Garber's quick appearance could hint that the fourth season will cover one of the novels he appeared in. Since Tripwire is considered one of the best, that's the most obvious candidate for that angle. Nick Santora is still running the show, and that's worth noting because consistency of tone, pacing, and structure is one of Reacher's biggest strengths. Episodes don't waste time. They don't spiral off into side plots or get lost in the weeds. If Santora is still calling the shots, fans can expect more of the same, in the best way possible. The villain question. Let's talk about the villain. This version of Jack Reacher can drift into the Superman dilemma. Who could go toe-to-toe with this guy? He's so big. Season 3 had Paulie, an opposing brute, and he's been the only villain so far able to match the strength and talent of Jack Reacher. The show has done while letting plot and mission provide enough challenge to allow Alan Ritchson to do his thing, throw people around a room. But Paulie was the first physical threat that got close to taking Reacher down. So, Season 4 has a big question to answer. Do they try to up the ante with another bearded supergiant? Or do they lean back into the roots, letting the antagonist be the mission and the situation? Since there's no confirmed source book for Season 4, speculation is limited. But if they go back to the same kind of brute force villain again, it could start feeling watered down. If Reacher returns to easily crushing every threat, it could undermine the vulnerability and growth Season 3 introduced. Predictions and possibilities. Now, let's get into the fun part, predictions. Since each season is independent, it could be fun to start picking iconic Jack Reacher books and thinking about what fits this version of the character. We could be getting in touch with a younger, more reckless Reacher if the show ends up adapting The Affair, a prequel. That would mean seeing Reacher before he became the myth. Still a military cop, still dangerous, but maybe more impulsive and emotional. That version of the character could be a great contrast to the calm, calculated Reacher we've seen so far, and it gives Ritchson a new angle to play with. A prequel would allow more focus on relationships, Reacher's code, his trust issues, and why he left the military. These have been hinted at, but never fully explored. Season 4 could be the first to really dive deep into who Reacher is, not just what he does. Don't expect Reacher Season 4 to go full globe-trotting spy thriller. This isn't Jack Ryan. Even if the fights get bigger, the show works best in a tight, localized story. One town, one mission, one unstoppable force tearing through it. That's the blueprint. And even with more ambitious set pieces, it's likely they'll stick to that formula. A potential pivot point. This is just speculation, but Season 4 feels like a potential pivot point. Not a finale, but a turning of the page. We've seen Reacher as the drifter, the fixer, the loner. If Season 4 goes back in time and shows us who he used to be, it sets up a clean runway for future seasons to evolve him into something new. Maybe not a sidekick or team, but a shift in mindset, something that complicates the code he's lived by so far. Or they don't mess with the fastball. Taking it one book at a time seems to be working. So why change it now? Looking back, now that we've looked ahead to Season 4, let's take a quick look back, because Reacher has quietly become one of Prime Video's most reliable hits. And it didn't get there by accident. When Season 1 dropped in 2022, a lot of people weren't sure what to expect. This wasn't the Tom Cruise version from the movies. Instead, it was a TV adaptation that felt like a throwback to old-school action thrillers. Tight episodes, small-town mystery, a lead who looks like he could bench press a truck and solve a murder while doing it. That first season hooked people. It wasn't flashy or prestige TV. It was simple, brutal, and weirdly fun. Alan Ritchson's version of Jack Reacher had the size, silence, and dry charisma fans of the books always wanted. The show didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It just made the wheel that ran over people in style. We're about to do a whole lot of cowboy. Season 2 ramped things up, bigger scale, more explosive action, and a tight plot line around the team Reacher used to work with. While some fans preferred Season 1's grounded mystery, others loved the action movie pace of Season 2. Either way, it proved Reacher wasn't a one-and-done formula. The show had legs. Then came the Season 3 greenlight, even before it aired. Season 4 was already locked in. That's how much faith Amazon has in this series. And it's probably because they know what fans know. Reacher delivers. Reacher Season 4 has the potential to be a turning point. Maybe not in how they tell stories, but in the push they put behind them. A 3-season hit is rare enough. If Amazon is greenlighting a 4th this fast, you can bet they're backing it with a bigger budget, bigger fights, bigger moments, bigger production. It's got everything going for it. A proven creative team, a fan-favorite lead, and a structure that rewards patience and precision. That's the recipe for something special. If you've been watching since Season 1, you know exactly why this show works. And if you're just jumping in, that might be just fine. At the end of the day, Alan Ritchson will keep getting bigger, Jack Reacher will keep punching harder, and someone's going to regret the day they crossed this cartoonishly handsome and muscled human being.